Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us in this brand new show here at St. Martin's Athletics, Alumni Corner. And we have a very special guest with us here today to kick off this show. But first, I will introduce our student athlete who will be interviewing him. We have joining us from the baseball team, Tanner Inouye. He is a senior, graduated with a mechanical engineering degree, and he was a 2019 second team all-region pitcher. He's been a two-time all-conference selection, and he was a three-time GNAC pitcher of the week. So Tanner, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And interviewing, it will be Dick Roney. Dick, go ahead and say hi so that people can see you.
Hello there.
Dick graduated in 1964 and he's been very successful here at St. Martin's. He spent 18 years on the board of trustees. He helped establish the always fun annual St. Martin's golf tournament, which helps raise scholarship money for student athletes. He has also been a part of putting together the President's Gala, and also he was the chair of the National Alumni Board. Dick has also served on our Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor committee, and he has had many other roles in this department, and also been a massive supporter of Saints athletics for a very long time. So Dick, thank you very much for joining us here today.
My pleasure to be here.
Tanner, at this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you ask away.
But I guess my third question is, was there a course or professor that made a significant impact on you?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you right away, I wasn't what you would call an A student. But one of my professors was Father Meinrad, and Father Meinrad was my history and speech professor. And many of the Benedictine monks that had a great influence in my life, not just in the classroom, but by living around them for the 4 years that I was here. But Father Meinrad was an absolute wonderful, wonderful man. And he started they called it the Gym Fund. And that was the beginning of raising money for the pavilion. And in speech class or history class, if you came in a little bit late, he would just hold his hand out, keep lecturing, wouldn't even bat an eye, and wanted you to cross his palms with silver or copper to go for the Gym Fund. If you went into his office afterwards, you wanted a cup of coffee, you paid for it. You wanted donuts, you paid for it. That's how we got started with raising money for the gym that is there today. So he was really a wonderful man. And I was also influenced in sports by Art Acuff, he coached almost everything at one point or another while he was here for the sports that we did have. We didn't have a lot then. My baseball coaches the first 2 years were gentlemen by the name of Ken Kelly and Phil Misley. And both of those guys played at the AAA level. It was the highest that they'd ever, but they were absolute. I learned a lot of baseball from them, number one. And number two, I had a lot of fun playing for those guys because they kept it light and we were fairly competitive. I don't think that we had many winning records, but we were always in games and we had a great time doing it.
What piece of advice would you give a current student athlete?
Well, I'm not one for really giving advice, although Austin may disagree with that. I have a lot of opinions, but however, through your abilities that you have, both in the classroom and on the ball field, you've been given an opportunity to be successful in your chosen academic endeavor or in baseball after college. Please always strive to be the very best for yourself, for your family, and for your community. Always stay close to St. Martin's from day one. All too often we get people who graduate from here and say, I'm so glad to be out of college and I'm not sure I ever want to come back. But we really need our graduates to stay with us from day one, even if it's for a little bit of participation or whatever the case may be. Participate if you can and help future students to have the same opportunities that you've had while you were here. And always, always enjoy the ride and have fun.
Thank you. How did St. Martin's help you prepare for your future challenges in your life?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it allowed me to be flexible. I majored in elementary education, and I also coached for just a year at the high school baseball at the high school level when I first got out of college. But it I left education after just 2.5 years of teaching and went into the financial services industry. And 13 years in the industry, I started an advertising and public relations firm serving financial services and ultimately merging the companies into the insurance arm of our company. I believe that each step along the way was aided by the liberal arts education I received at St. Martin's and allowed that flexibility to move into each step along the way in my career.
My final question is, how did you decide to stay involved with the St. Martin's community as an alumni?
Well, I think I decided that almost the first week I got on campus. I graduated from high school in 1959, and I had just turned 17 years of age. I was the oldest of 6 children, and my parents both worked outside the home, which was rare in those days. My parents were not able to send me to college, let alone a private school. I was fortunate enough to get a job in a local supermarket, even though I was not yet 18. So I entered St. Martin's as a freshman in the fall of 1959. Decision I've never regretted. The friendships that I formed here with my fellow teammates, classmates, monks, and professors made me fall in love with this place. And except for a few short years of being away, I've been involved with this place ever since as a volunteer. And Austin talked about some of them. I was initially on the alumni board. We formed an organization. The school at one time was when we dropped baseball, the school was trying to decide whether they were going to, number one, drop all sports, or in the worst case scenario, we're going to close the institution altogether. Myself and a few other people did not want that to happen. So we formed, first of all, St. Martin's Athletic Foundation, which allowed us to try and save athletics, and it worked. And the athletic program obviously has grown from there. I was, as Austin pointed out, I was on the board of trustees for 18 years, and I was on the National Alumni Board twice. So I just hope I can continue participating as a volunteer at St. Martin's for many more years to come. So I thank you so much for having me today. And Tanner, good luck for the coming season and be safe.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to both of you for joining us and being part of our first ever Alumni Corner. Thank you, Dick. Thank you, Tanner. And we will see everybody in the next episode. Goodbye.